This week's episode is sponsored by Impressive Jewels by Lisa Carter. Lisa Carter has been my consultant since inception of the Right Along with Vanessa morning show. So go to impressivejewels.net today. Get your little something. You deserve it. Are you tired of being stung by outrageous nail prices? Well, you don't have to worry about that at Queen Bee Nail Hive. Contact Queen Bee herself, servicing the Tampa Bay area. 813-414-1405. That's 813-414-1405. Queen Bee Nail Hive. Come be pollinated. To start your 2021, go to www.vanessaklinger.com. Click the free book giveaway button. Complete your details, and I will ship a free book to you. Stay in love. Hello, everyone. It is a new year, new season, new everything. So join me Friday on the Right Along with Vanessa morning show for another exciting topic and another word that's going to bring you the raw, real enlightenment and encouragement that you need for 2021. Join me, won't you? Stay in love. Hello, everyone. Vanessa Klinger here, your intuitive life strategist and life coach motivator. Would you like to be a guest on our talk show, Spiritually Speaking, with my co-host, Michelle Massey Washington? Well, go out to the website, www.vanessaklinger.com, complete the form, and your sponsorship includes a guest spot. We look forward to meeting you and highlighting your product, service, or event. Stay in love. Welcome to another episode of Spiritually Speaking. I am Vanessa Klinger, your intuitive life strategist and life coach motivator.
And I'm Michelle, your motivator, your illusionist meditator.
Yeah, co-host. How was your week, my love?
Very busy, but awesome, positive, everything's good. So I'm excited about today.
Yeah. As you guys can see, there is someone between my co-host and I.
Who's that?
Well, she'll be joining us very shortly. Kimberly Anderson, our special guest tonight. And she's actually a fellow sister of the KP Media TV network. She airs her show as well, and she'll be sharing with us all those details and all those great little nuggets and sharing with us what she has coming up. But she is a coach and business creative and goddess, so she's going to turn us on to what that means and what that looks like. So she'll be joining us very shortly. And then after that, we're going to be talking about Abraham. I came up with a title, but I was like, I don't know. And I was just going to run it by you first, just to make sure that, we're in the same, on the same wave. Now, I had Abraham, the consequences of disobedience. You think we'll have time to go? Yeah?
We can kind of tiptoe to the tulips. That's a sufficient title. We're going to learn some things about disobedience. And even when God is favoring you, there are times that we still, even though Abraham is the father of faith, there are still times that we waver a little bit. So we're going to dip back into that and see where we can go with Abraham.
Yeah, well, we have a few minutes. Kimberly will be joining us at at 15 after the hour. So do you maybe want to whet our palate, give us a tease as to what we're going to be discussing after Kimberly, our interview with her, comes as far as,
Well,
see, we tiptoe to the tulips, but maybe a recap, like, because we were talking about Abraham last week, and of course we deviate and stuff and digress, but it always seems to help people, the
it
viewers
always
that
comes
watch.
together. Yeah, it
Yeah.
comes together. Abraham was chosen, and he was chosen to be the father of all nations. And we kind of talked about how he left everything as he was instructed, but just maybe one thing he brought along with him. So we kind of talking about when God gives you directions, you must follow them to the letter. And if you deviate just a little from them, it causes you to suffer consequences that you may not have suffered if you had followed the entire direction. And so we found out that God told him to leave everything, his kindred, his family, and he brought along his nephew. So just that one thing is going to cause him some things that he's going to face. But even the things that we deviate, when we deviate from what God is saying, there is a lesson in it. And so it's usually used to strengthen us in that place that we're weak. So when we look at things as negative, they are steps that have been ordered to enhance our trip, to enhance our strength, to enhance who we are, to define our greatest version of us. And this helps us to look at what we call the negative things as the positive things, because they're going to convert based on what you're facing in your life, based on your situation. We talked about having a rest solution, like we're going into our souls to find the solution to where we're going. So it all works out because all things work together for our good.
Right. I was
So
just thinking that. That's how God proves his word. I mean,
right,
if people would just, I mean, it's my goal. I just want people to fall in love with the scriptures, and really, once you fall in love with something, that love grows and it expands and it evolves and it just gets better and better because it's love. Because I mean, it's even though it was inspired and written by spiritual beings in human form, that's what we have. That's the evidence that we know.
right.
It's so magical. It
Yeah,
really is. It's magical.
right.
Wow.
We have to be mindful that we talked about making a covenant with God before we were in the womb, and that God equipped us with the seed that was going to provide everything that we needed for this journey. So we kind of made a covenant with God to say, okay, I realize I'm going to go through this, but since you've given me the solution, then I'm going to walk this journey because I know that I already have resolved what I'm about to walk into. And so when we get that mentality and we begin to level it off and the word becomes flesh, we begin to walk in a different way in our lives based on not what we're going through, but what we're going to. So that's
Wow.
why everything that we go through, we're going to something. So this too shall pass. So if we're going through something, that means we're passing, we're going into trance, across through and beyond to
Right.
what we're going to. But
Wow.
sometimes the delay happens because we're so focused on what we're going through at that moment, that situation, that obstacle, that we forget who we were. And then when we forget who we were, we forget that we made a covenant, that we have the seed, that we have the answer. And then we start stressing, we start getting depressed, anxiety, and we just lose focus. That's why God said, be, in the world, but don't be of the world. You got to maintain your mentality, your spiritual mentality and your consciousness to be able to walk through this thing. And we already won, so there's no need to fret.
I
So
know. It's like we know the end of the game and we know the end of the story because it doesn't matter what we experience. If we focus on the end goal, knowing that we are victorious, then that is the outcome that we will experience. But like you said, when they're going through, they get caught up in what they're experiencing. And I was sharing this with my ride along viewers. I was like, look, we're magical beings, because when we think about something, we send out that vibration and we create scenarios to experience that. That's what makes us magical. And that's why it's so important to focus on, especially what we've been affirming to ourselves, and really using that spiritual energy to work for our ultimate good instead of for our, what would say, evil, because we are going to create that. It does. I mean, I'm a living witness. I know I would go be wallowing in self-pity, and sure enough, I'd have more experiences like that. I would, the characters in my play called Life would behave that way. And I'm thinking they're attacking me, but no, inherently I was attacking myself, and they were just mirroring what was going on inside of me.
Right, because we talked about the very things that we dislike or don't like about others is something inside of us that we need to work on, and we don't want to actually face it, so we'll point it out in other people, and it takes the attention off of us, and that we're dealing with some of that very same stuff that we just don't like. And so when Abraham's journey continues, we're going to see some of the things that he's pointing out maybe in others that's not worked out in himself. And God shows him these things through these oppositions. He shows them through the journey. He shows them through God's power. So it's an exciting journey that we all take when we write our own story, when we come out of the old and the new, and we come in the now, and we begin to write the story for our own situation, our own movie. Our own outcome is already planned. Like we talked about way down the line, that when they shoot a movie, they shoot the ending first, and they work towards the ending. So we already know the ending. So we're working towards that ending. And so we've got to be conscious and alert that that's what we're doing. This is a movie. We have our characters, but now we need to write our role, because we're with God. With us and God, we're the only ones that know our story. So I can't tell you what your story is. You can't take my journey, because I have my own role. So in Abraham, we see all of that.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, didn't I tell you that great Michelle Massey Washington? I mean, so we're going to run this intro. We're going to bring Kimberly on after we introduce her. So go grab your scuba gear. Go grab your refreshing beverage, because we are, our goal is that, this was just to tease you guys with these first couple of seasons and get you turned on and excited about the scriptures. But we are evolving. We are bringing you higher, and we're expanding, with the goal to expand your consciousness. So we're going to have more guests like Kimberly that's going to be joining us for the upcoming season after we take our break Easter Sunday. So go get your scuba gear, put it on, go grab your refreshing beverage, and
dive in deep.
Dive in deep. Oh, I love that. Maybe that's the theme of next season, girl. I love it. All right, guys. After this intro, it'll be Kimberly Anderson. Kimberly Anderson is an intuitive transformational coach and business creative. She is a best-selling author, speaker, and TV show host of Unleashed with Kimberly. Unleash Your Inner Goddess virtual women's retreat is scheduled March 27, 2021. And now, Kimberly Anderson. And there she is. Hello, my love. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Come on, let's greet her.
That was awesome.
Namaste.
Namaste. About to the divine presence in you.
Yeah. All right. So this is Kimberly Anderson, everyone. I'm getting goosebumps. Oh, that means it's. Oh, this is great. Kimberly Anderson is a business creative, coach, TV show host of Unleashed with Kimberly right here on the KP Media TV network. And she has an upcoming event, and we're going to talk about that. But I want you guys just to get to know who she is so that you can fall in love with her as much as I have. So Kimberly, tell us about yourself, my love. How did this all begin? How did this start?
Well, it actually blends really well with what you two were just talking about. I was over here going, yes. It's all about our journeys, and kind of how the whole platform even began was I believe every woman is a goddess, and it's through those journeys, those trials, those traumas, experiences, beliefs, mindsets that we go through that we forget that sometimes. And when you really recognize that your journey is just your journey, it's life lessons, it's things to learn from, you really can own your power, take that power back and speak your truth and be true to who you are and really let your brilliance shine. And that's kind of how it all started. So it works perfectly with what you guys were talking about today.
Wow, it's fantastic. So, where did you get inner goddess from? I mean, how did you? I mean, because usually the things happen organically. So, can you share with us a scenario as to how that all began? I mean, what sparked that your imagination to just, you know what, that's it? How did that happen?
I would say it's organic, but it's been a long time coming. I've
Mhm.
always been intrigued by goddesses of all cultures, and I love how they show their strengths and their weaknesses, but they are still powerful. And that always resonated with me. And I named my business Aphrodite Enterprises. So like there's the goddess. And
Mhm.
again, it just goes back to really, no matter what you've gone through, no matter what you're doing, you are a goddess. You are strong, powerful, you are enough, and you are worthy, even though we have moments where we forget that. And so it just, every time I'm talking to a woman, it's always about empowering them and remembering that, one of my favorite sayings, and I don't even know who coined it, but if he brings you to it, he'll bring you through it. It's like we don't realize how strong we are as we're going through stuff. But when we're on the other side of it, we're like, oh my God, I made it through that. Doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. But we don't realize that strength and that wisdom that we gain while we're in that mess. It's afterwards where we look back and reflect and go, wow, I did that. I made that. I made it through that.
Right. And the thing is, did you have a question, Michelle? Or I went into.
I basically would like for you to maybe define to the audience what goddess means, because some people get confused when you start making yourself one with God, that you're trying to become God. Other than, I always say, God doesn't want us dependent on Him; He wants us independent in Him.
Mm-hmm.
And so, can you kind of explain to the audience your definition of what goddess is?
Absolutely. Again, it's about stepping into your strength and knowing that you're worthy and you're enough, and that really God's given you all that you need to get through everything you're going through, and to really just be anchored in knowing that you are enough and that you have everything in you to make it through whatever it is you're going through.
Okay, so goddess, what I heard is goddess is a representation of strength and power. That's what I heard.
Yeah. Yep. And all of us, and that's within us. We're born that way. We just forget it along the way somewhere. So it's remembering that and anchoring into, we are worthy, we're enough, we're strong.
Yeah, and a lot of women don't think that they're enough, or they always go back to the place in the Bible where it says we're the weaker vessel, which doesn't mean strength. It just means that we are feminine, we are soft, but we're strong. But they forget about the Proverbs 31 woman who was a business owner, who took care of her husband, who took care of her kids, who made things from her own hand. And we've kind of as a male perspective, we've kind of been pushed in the corner to think that we are not as strong as they are. It's not a competition, but it's actually taking our space and place in our divine mind and in our divine place. So you entering in that into our conversation, and I hope a lot of women are listening, and men too, because once we know who we are, you can't unknow it. So that's a good definition for us to look at.
Absolutely. And it's about that divine feminine and the strength and power within that. And like you were just saying, and really recognizing that we're not weak because we're women. We're divinely powerful. We create life. Like, that's amazing.
Yes. And then everything, they don't realize it. It's not just babies, it's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yep. I told you guys. I told you. So unleash your inner goddess. Tell us about that.
So again, going back to the goddess and really recognizing that you're enough and that you're powerful, I started talking about unleashing that inner goddess within you when I've been talking to women's groups and really helping to empower them in embracing that knowledge that you are enough, you are worthy, you are deserving of greatness. And I started putting together bits and pieces. I've done a lot of different things for women's groups and workshops and retreats. And it's always centered around the goddess, just about really embracing that divine feminine within you. And that's how, yeah.
That's Kyle. He is one of our faithful viewers. She's like, I never thought about that. Women have to be strong to carry a baby in their belly for 9 months. That's right, Kyle. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I created this retreat around all of that and having really experiential moments and understanding your journey is just that. It's your journey. It's meant for you. You're uniquely you. You're uniquely brilliant. I do a lot of work with domestic violence, and it's an interesting conversation to really own that power within you coming out of situations like that. And one of the things that I think is really important is just remembering that you can do it. Again, if back to that saying, if he brings you to it, he'll bring you through it. And I really think about that a lot in those conversations. And there's so much to in those conversations of domestic violence. You can have 10 women that have gone through domestic violence. Each and every one of them is going to be different story, different perspective, how they got in it, how they got out of it. It's all different, and it's all unique to their own journey of what they learn. And it makes them, depending on what they go into, a lot of those women go in and volunteer and help other women and even children, and they're bringing their unique brilliance, their unique perspective to that conversation, and that makes them an expert.
Agreed.
And knowing that about yourself.
Do you have maybe a testimony that would have directed you down this path or down this journey for creating this for women? A lot of time we have a background that wakes us up to say, okay, this is where I'm gifted. This is what I'm supposed to bring to this story. Do you have anything that led you there?
Oh, of course. In and out of domestic violence for 20 plus years, I still currently have an ex that's constantly stalking and harassing me, even today. And it's a never ending, and it's about knowing that you're strong and you can get through it. And even for myself, pushing through, because, when we're trying to build businesses and really do what we're meant to be doing, we want to shrink and hide and stay small because we're so afraid of what might come at us. And having gone through that and still dealing with it, I'm constantly pushing forward and moving forward because I want to be a testimony that we can still pursue our dreams and be successful and be powerful and have massive impact even while we're going through stuff. It's just a journey. It's our lessons. What are we learning?
Right. I just applaud you that in spite of, what you're experiencing, you keep moving and there's this, I press toward the mark of the high calling, what Paul talks about. You keep pressing towards and still, using your power for good instead of focused on all of that, that's still, I call it haunting you. you're not focused on the ghost. You're focused on the reality of your purpose and your calling. That just speaks volumes as to just how strong we as women are, just how strong we as people are, if we allow ourselves to focus on the objective. What is it that in spite of what's going on, I need to focus on my purpose. And I'm speaking from experience, because when you're going through all of that, if you keep focused on that, that's going to be your end goal. All of that other stuff will pass away. I'm a living witness.
Yeah,
it will.
Well, one of the things that I always say is there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Girl, come on now, Kim. Come on.
Seriously. There always is light at the end of the tunnel. Like when I've talked to women with children and we're going through all this stuff with our kids, even in those situations, like at some point the kids are going to turn 18. They're going to start seeing the light. And when you know that and just have that belief and that faith that, okay, I have my path and my lessons to learn, but also so do my children, or so does this person, and how that relates in your life. And so you just keep moving forward, and it's not to say that you're not going to not want to get out of bed one day. It's not that you're not going to be grocery shopping and have an absolute meltdown. That happens, and it's okay.
Yes.
And to realize that, we're just human, and we're women. We're emotional, and that's how God created us, to be emotional. That's one of our superpowers. And just really knowing that it's okay. It's absolutely okay to have those days and have those moments, because guess what? Every minute's a new minute, every hour is a new hour, every day is a new day. You can still be amazing and brilliant and have impact.
Wow.
It's amazing that it's amazing that when you're talking about that you're still experiencing these things, that I think it's probably sharpening you, it's probably enlightening you, it's probably putting you harder on your course. It's probably doing all those things. But I always think mentally that you're still going through this, not because you can't get through it. So a lot of people think because I'm still going through something, then I must not be able to get through it. But I always say if I keep repeating something or something happening over and over again, it's sharpening me to be sharper in this area. Because as you begin to help other people, you're experiencing probably something now that you may not have experienced before. And somebody that you're coaching is experiencing that thing. So it helps other people to know that even when you get to a point, you still may experience some of that same residue that's left over, but that doesn't define who you are. That just sharpens who you're going to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited about you saying that. That's why I asked you if there was a testimony that you had
that will enlighten the people. So that encourages somebody in the audience.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't hear Vanessa.
Because I was muted. It's about unleashing your inner goddess.
But I'm good at lip reading. I can read lips.
I was like, what?
Trying to read.
So I checking my earplugs. Okay. We're back. Okay, we're back. We're back.
All right. So as we wrap up, tell us about this wonderful retreat that's happening 2 weeks from now, respectively. The 27th of March. Yeah, tell us about it.
Grab your tickets. You get a goodie box in the mail. It's going to be very experiential. There's a lot of activities and some of the things that we're going to be doing, you get in your box to go along with it, and just really embracing that inner goddess and unleashing out.
Right.
So you guys virtual?
It's virtual.
Is it virtual? Okay.
Yeah, it's virtual.
I like to be at that.
Yeah.
So tell us how do we get the information and how we can be a part of it.
Going across the banner on the bottom.
Yep, that's the link, and that's going to be also. I'm going to post that in the comments. But also, you guys who are watching, you can go to KimberlyACoaching.com and all of the details are there, and learn more about unleashing your inner goddess. And, just to give you guys a little teaser, Kimberly will be back for the season finale on April the 4th to share us about some other things and about some things that she and I are working on. So we'll have a little bit more time. I'm going to see if, the KP Media TV gods will give me a little bit longer airtime, if there's some spaces, time that needs to fill, so we can really go out with a bang, and give you more time for us to talk about unleashing your inner goddess. You can bring us back the details and what transpired during the retreat, and we can talk about what you have coming down the pike. I'm so excited, ladies and gentlemen. Kimberly Anderson. All right, my love. We will see you April 4th. Stay
Kelly,
alive.
thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your conversation. It's very important conversation. I love it. So thank you for both of you.
Bye, love.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Now let me try to get this right. I done got all emotional and everything. I need to post this in the comments so everyone can get that link to Unleash Your Inner Goddess. Isn't she amazing? I mean, she's
awesome.
Yeah, she'll be back. She'll be back. Awesome. All right. Okay. All right. We're going to take a quick little, and then we're going to come back and talk about Abraham, the consequences of disobedience. Wow. I don't know what to do it. Yep.
This week's episode is sponsored by Organic Sunscreen Moisturizer, Sheer Perfection Moisturizer that can only be found on perfectiondayspa.com. Contact Delia today.
All right. We are back. I told you, co-host, it was going to be short, quick, sweet, to the point.
I know.
Ready.
Yeah, we are ready to go into a different space and place. Things have been happening to a lot of people, and a lot of people are losing their mind. And you're hearing about more shootings, more violence, because people have really lost it. And they don't know that they've lost it.
I change this topic, and we're going to talk about Abraham next week. I can change it. Because I know you on a wave. You on this wave. So I don't want to knock you off your surfboard. I just want you to surf wherever you want to take us. So yeah, let me just take this down. Let's just chat. What's going on in your spirit that you need to enlighten and encourage people on? Go ahead. Come on, girl. This is live. We can do whatever we want to do. You know what I mean? Within reason. Go ahead, girl. What we talking? Girl, what's going on? People lose their mind.
Yes, people have actually, well, they haven't lost it. They've misplaced it. And it's been misplaced under everything that's been going. So the virus is really a mental virus. I talked about that when I was diagnosed with having COVID, how the mental part of it, it just beats you down because you hear all the headlines you've ever heard. You hear all the conversations that people have ever said. And then as you move into that and through that, and you begin to think that, and then you begin to focus on it. So my thing is to everyone that's listening, this is a warning. This is like Lost in Space. Warning.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. All right, just serious. Okay. I'm serious.
No, it's okay because, laughter is a medicine. So
yes, it is, girl.
What I'm trying to empower and impact to people is that remember, for as often as you do this, remember, because this is the real communion. When you get to a place and a space in your life where it looks like there's no way out, or it looks like your back is against the wall. And when you look at it as your back against the wall, you must know that if your back is against the wall, you serve a God that's able to turn the wall around. And so as you begin to do that, you begin to find your place in space, because we've reversed everything. God has reversed everything. And you're still trying to live in that normal that was conditioned to you, but you're going to have to become spiritual again. So I'm telling those people that are losing or misplaced their mind, or not in a place that they're thinking they can make it through, you have got to return back to your original state. And you're asking, how do I do that?
Yeah, hey, go
ahead. You got a question?
Well, I
You're
know.
asking how.
Go ahead.
You know.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and get it.
Okay,
So
so
you have to return. Just say it, Vanessa. Just say it.
So when I felt like I was losing my mind, okay, it was because I was trying to figure out something that was already figured out. And it was not my problem to solve because it was already solved. Right? It was like
trying to control it.
Yeah, it was like I was trying to take what my limited knowledge on trying to solve a problem, that I didn't know the answer to, but I was trying to use my limited way of thinking to try to solve it. And see, people get in these situations and they try to think about it. How do I fix this? How do I do that? And then they sit there and they just meditate on it. Okay, it says meditate on the law day and night. You shall make your way prosperous and you shall have good success. And the ultimate opposite is the same too. Meditate on that madness day and night and you shall make your way to crazy town and you shall be successful at getting there.
Right. And so the pressure, the pressure is in the head, not the heart. And so that's why we had to reverse from head thinking first to heart thinking, because God is speaking there. And he said to me probably a couple months ago, stop trying to control things. And so that's what we try to control it. But as I told you before we were in the womb, he knew us. He became intimacy. We had an intimacy where the seed was planted, and everything you need is in the seed. Everything that you're going through, you are the seed. And you will be planted in a lot of dirt because there is so much dirt that is needed to cover the seed. And you will go through a mess. But remember, once age is attached to mess, it becomes message. So there's not a time that you're not going to deal with mess because you're transing to a message. And you must not get older in it, but get mature and wiser in it. Because we've already established that just because you're older doesn't mean that you're mature in your situation. So those people who feel like I'm losing my mind, I'm losing my way, I can't go through this. It is time for you to reverse the curse. And I can tell you all day, God is good. I can tell you all day, he's an on-time God. I can say all those things. But until the word becomes your flesh, then you're not going to be able to proceed in your next endeavor, in your next space that God is taking to you. I promise you, he has not left you. He is taking you on a journey, holding your hand. He is reminding you that he's there. He said, I'll never leave you or forsake you. You are not losing your mind. It is a deception. You are not losing your mind. So stop telling yourself, oh, this is just driving me crazy. Oh, I'm just about to lose it here.
Guess where you're going if you keep saying this is driving me crazy? Then whatever it is that you done created, go put the keys in that ignition and take you straight to crazy town and drop you off. And you'll be wondering, how did I get here? Well, you just talked your way into crazy town. Instead of speaking or not even saying, you know what, Michelle? I had to learn this, that although I may have been thinking about some things, I just stopped talking. Because I was like, everything that would come out of my mouth was not always negative. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to shut up. And I'm just going to sit here and think about
that's the best. Yeah, that's best because we are creators. And so when we begin to speak into the atmosphere, we begin to form and begin to. So sometimes you do have to just shut your mouth, shut your mind, go in your heart. That's why I talk about heart coherence, where you just put your hand there, connect with your heart. When you do that, your head stops thinking. It's like immediate. No thoughts run through your head. I promise you, if you try it, if you just sit there, put your hand on your heart, all of your thinking stops. And you begin to focus on the beat, the rhythm, the vibration. And you begin to hear something totally different, not with these ears, but with the ear that's in your heart. And it just stops the confusion. This is all fear. You know, this is all fear because you've been conditioned, it's been planted. But when you go to your heart, I promise you, the heart will always speak the truth. Your head will speak fear, doubt, selfishness, resentment, but your heart will always speak the truth. And so what I'm encouraging people to do is go to your heart and get out of your head, because you can't lose heart. The heart is the beat of you. You can't lose heart, but you can lose head. It's so many ways, in so many ways. And so I'm just, that's just on me and in me, that the people need to know you're not losing it. You're on a journey. This has already been set for you. You're already equipped. You are not by yourself. God says, I'm never going to leave you. Even when you try to leave me, I'm still not going to leave you. Nothing can separate you from the love of God, not even your bad choices. But you have got to come back to be mindful, focused, and pay it within your heart, because this is a new day. There are so many things that are happening right now that are great. If you focus on the rest solution, oh my God, when you focus on the rest solution, the soul is so universal that it comes together to beat together. And then we become very mindful of who we are. And once you know who you are, you can't unknow it.
That's
so
right.
That was just in me.
Girl, well, you know, we got about 12 minutes. We can flesh this out. So the challenge for some, and I know I'm speaking for me, because when I finally just decided just to let go, let God, as they say, but also I remember after I refer back to that, because I was reminded of that when you were speaking. When I had started right along, it was doing really well. I had one of my best years, and in 2018, everything was going well. Then boom, right? So I had, you guys know the story. Moved back in with my parents. I'm in my old room, and I wasn't working. I couldn't get work, you know, because nothing, I couldn't attract it. Why? Because those doors had been shut. Because God had to, you know, He was dealing with me, and it was for my good. Now, see, I didn't know, but I was uncertain, but I was being obedient as to, okay, this is where I just accept it. This is where I'm supposed to be. There's something that I need to know. I'm safe. I'm provided for, and it's all good, right? So I knew from what I had been experiencing before, I had enough experiences to know, okay, all right, I'm not going to lose my mind. I just concluded, I'm not going to lose my mind. I'm not going to go to the mental institution. I'm not going to kill myself. I just decided all this stuff, right? I said, let me just try this out and see what's, you know, hold on, see what the end going to be. That was me. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hold on, see what the end going to be. But also, I was creating my end too. Okay, that's the disconnect. Hold on, see what the end going to be. But you better get to creating, baby. So I'm in my room. I had my little TV. I ran YouTube up because I had my videos, my meditation videos. And let me tell y'all something. When you finally decide that you're just going to lean in and yield to where Spirit is trying to take you, I attracted the right videos that I needed to meditate on day and night. I wasn't working. What else I was going to do? All I was doing was eating, sleeping, and meditating.
That's a good combination.
Yeah, ain't it? I had to worry about nothing. The only thing, you know, I had some financial assistance to keep my car, you know. Didn't need a phone. Who was I going to talk to? I didn't want to be calling nobody, telling them about my woes and my worries and have them feed that and create that. No, I needed to be still and know and get intimate, right? So that's what I did. And a lot of people are trying to work it out when it's already worked out. And all you have to do is get yourself prepared for what's been worked out. See what I was doing? Okay, meditate. And then I was like, you know what? I need to learn more about this. So I learned some more project management stuff because I was like, okay, I'm getting ready to where I'm going, right? I watched videos on strategic management, videos on learning a new software, all this stuff to feed my soul, right? Inside and out, I had to feed it because I was like, okay, I'm not focused on where I come from. So what if I walked away from all that furniture? It wasn't mine anyway. I bought it from the man and I had it, so I left it. Okay, so that's good. I'm like, I know enough not to know if I walk away from something, I'm always gonna go to something better because I've had more experiences like that, right? So I was not even concerned with that. I had my car, so if I did get a call for a job, I was able to go to the interview, right? Because I was starting to realize, hey, I'm confident. I know what I know. I've been here before. I've been in this experience. So I did that. I put in that work. And you know, I only had, I mean, September, October, November, December, and 4 months that I just really just took a deep dive into me. And I had to, first of all, I had to get prepared for where I was going, meditating, studying, building project plans, understanding resources, all this stuff that was aligned with my career, right? But also I was feeding my soul so that I could be made aware of those deficiencies, right? And then when the time came and presented itself, I humbled myself and boom, breakthrough, right? So what I'm saying is, I'm giving back to you, co-host, is that people need to leverage, thank you, Karen, leverage their time that they have in order to invest on where they're going instead of focus on that, because that's why you're losing your mind. You
right, and it's a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, you stuck on
right.
stupid.
It's a lot of anxiety that's defining this breakdown or this feeling that you've lost your mind. So we established that anxiety is the fear of what's going to happen in the future. Depression is the fear of what happened in the past. And so we're in right here in the now trying to balance that off. Huh?
Can we say faith is being in the here and now? Can we add to
that? Right. To know is now. When you look at the word know, the end of it says now. So God said we fail for the lack of now. We fail for the lack of knowing now. And so when we fail for the lack of knowing now, we begin to reach into yesterday and decide, oh, that went wrong. Then we will reach into tomorrow and decide, oh, what can go wrong? And then we begin to miss out what is happening now that is not going wrong and that's not wrong. And so as we begin to do that, we become spiritually conscious that when Jesus was sent into the wilderness, he was led by the Holy Spirit. And so even when you feel like you're in the wilderness of your life, just know that every step has been ordered, that you're being led there. You're not alone. And most people feel like they're alone because we've been kind of isolated. And people are so in a hurry to get back with people. And that's fine because those are some of your loved ones. But you must embrace the alone time. You must embrace that this alone time makes you define what is the greatest version of me. You know, I've been through that and I made it out. You know, I'm facing this and I'm going out. And so you're never in a staying pattern. You are always moving because you're energy. So you're never going to be in a staying pattern. Everything is not always going to be good all the time. Everything's not always going to be bad because we are energy, and our energy fluctuates. It goes up, it goes down, but we're on a journey to balance it mentally in our heart so that when we're facing the ups and the downs, was it Paul that say, I learned how to be content in whatever state I find myself. I found how to be abased. I know how to be abound. He said, I know how to be abased and I know how to be abound. Why? Because you're still that fantastic, awesome, authentic self that no matter what you're going through, you're still you. And I think that's what Kimberly was saying. So here we are in this space of 2021, the year of royalty and riches. And we're still searching for poverty. And we're still searching for being a peasant because they tried to tell us that's who we were. We should be getting back our nationality, our inheritance, our birthrights. All of that's been set up for you to get back. But if you don't know it, you're going to still search for that normal
Please, sir.
mess that they
Please,
said.
sir. Might I have a pence, sir? Please, sir. Well, give me my name, Jimmy. Oh, I'm just waiting for y'all to give me something instead of creating something for yourself.
Yes. He made us that way. He created us that way. That's why he said, he shall supply your need. A lot of people keep saying, I need this. The only reason you need it because you haven't created what's in you to satisfy it. There is no need.
Say that again.
I can't. That was Holy Ghost saying I can't.
We have to rewind this. I was trying to get us to post a Michelleology. What? Woo!
We're saying that we need something because we haven't created the solution to that need. There is no need. There's no such word as need. We are looking at life from a physical mentality when we should be looking at it from a spiritual mentality, because in your spirit, a spirit can be anything. So it's like we look and search for a need. We look for the have not when we are the have. The governmental, they govern your mental to try to tell you. They try to tell you that you're not anything. They try to tell you that you need them. They try to make you dependent instead of independent. And then they try to take your mentality and make you something that you're not. But we have not forgotten who we were. Repent means to return back to your original self. It has nothing to do with sin.
Say it again.
Return back. Repent means to return back to your original self. It has nothing to do with sin. The sin has already been taken care of. Stop focusing on that and focus on returning back to your original self. The intimacy before you were in the womb, interpreted as the matrix. And now here we are in this present moment. In this present moment, dry up your tears unless you're watering your seed with joy. Dry up your tears unless you're watering your seed with joy, so that you are able to create the very thing.
Girl, let's make that a t-shirt. Gracious. Dry up your tears unless you're watering
your
seeds with joy.
With joy.
Girl. And it is possible, ladies and gentlemen. It is possible.
Yes, sir, it is. I'm a witness. I'm a witness.
Me too. It is possible. I'm telling you. And then, here's the thing. So when everything starts to pop out for you and things start to come and you be like, you're going to have a little residue of like, well, what if that?
Yeah. That's that thorn.
Honey.
That's that thorn.
You need to, I was like, okay, Spirit, I just, just let me know, because I've always been like that. God, please just make it plain as day. So I got a notification from one of my spiritual mentors that sends out these daily motivations. And let's see if I can find it. Yeah, we got a couple minutes. So keep telling us about losing your mind and stuff while I find this, and then we'll close out with this. So say that quote again. So let me do the quote, and then I want to post that too. It says, what about the tears?
Stop crying your tears unless you're watering your seed with joy. And the reason the times that we are crying because we're hurt, we're crying because something has happened, we're crying out of our flesh. But when you have the joy, and I say joy is emotional stability. It is being able to go through something, not to be happy about it, but to be joyful about it, because you're going to get through it. There's not a time that you go through something that you're not getting through it to go to something greater. But you have to travel this journey. Even if you crack a seed open, you're not going to see the limbs, you're not going to see the leaf, you're not going to see the fruit, you're not going to see the root, because that's what's happening. Because we can't physically see it with our eyesight, we lose hope. We lose all of our stability and mentality that we can go through this thing. This is not a war between God and the devil. This is a journey that we're taking that we've already won. So remember, I told you that devil means unstable mind. That means the instability of your thinking. When you think that the devil is stopping you, you can't be stopped, because there's no weapon that's formed against you shall be able to prosper. So we're going through this thing, y'all. I'm encouraging you that no matter who passes away that you love, and this is not being insensitive, because some people have passed away that I love during this season of all these deaths. But whatever is gone, God doesn't need to bring you through to your next. And so as we going through these things, yes, we're going to have a time that we grieve. But Dr. Fields told me this and helped me through this when I was not expecting my brother to pass away. I was not expecting that. I was sitting at a funeral of my godfather when I received a call that my brother had passed away. And I was in Alabama. He passed away in Georgia. He was in a car accident. But I was watching Dr. Phil because, you know, I'm in psychology and I always listen to people that are psychologically handling things. So he said to me, and he was talking to me. I know he was doing this show, but he was talking to me. He said to me, never spend more time grieving than you do embracing and rejoicing the time that you had with your loved one.
Say that again.
And that
Never
spend more time grieving than you spend rejoicing and remembering the time that you had with your loved one.
That's right.
And when he said that, it was like something lifted off of me, because I knew that my brother lived with purpose. And he had done what he was supposed to do, and his purpose was fulfilled. And it was time for him to move on to his next journey, to his next position that God was setting him in. And so what we do is try to keep people in a place when it's time for them to go to the next level in their journey.
Right.
So I hope that helps somebody.
Yeah, I know it helped me because, you know, when I started focusing on that, when my sister transitioned, it's like she's with me and she comes to me in my dreams. You ever wake up from a dream and you're exhausted, but you was dreaming about a family member or somebody? That's because you was there.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. That's because you was there. You were hanging out.
Yeah.
And you come, oh, my TV gonna come on. Hold on. So anyway, all right. I have this this quote. This came to me today because I was in a juxtaposition. I was trying to figure out. I was like, okay, should I do it? Should I not? You know, and all this stuff. And that came to my email.
Yes, that's good. That's good. Believe in yourself 100%. It says, it's time you believe in yourself 100%. Take credit for your experiences and knowledge. Own what you know and practice what you preach. It's time. Yes, that's good.
Isn't that good?
She said that to me too. Yes. Because
You know,
it even ties in what Kimberly was saying. You know,
right.
You're enough. You're enough.
And we tend to lose sight of just how far we've come. You've come a long way, baby. That ain't just no cigarette slogan. That's you. If you have survived everything that you've experienced, you've come a long way. Pat yourself on the back. Go make yourself some tea or something. Run around the house and praise and just rejoice in you and how far God has brought you. Good gracious, that's a party right there.
This saying right here helps me with to much is given, much is required. Because we immediately think that we've got to do more. But when I read this, much is required means you have to consider yourself of who you are, more of what you are, that you're going through this. So I'm giving you all of this because you're all of this. That just helped me with that scripture. That's good. That's good. I'm going to use that.
It's not a scripture. It's not a scripture.
I know.
It's a scripture from what Spirit downloaded to him to share. You know, and you know, we'll be pulling the curtains back next season more on just how deep Michelle and I really are. So we're trying to just, you know, I'm on Clubhouse now too. So I was in a room, you know, with some experts and I was sharing with them and they were like, you know, yeah, so you just want to kind of just drop little tidbits. So that's what we've been doing the first 2 seasons, just dropping little tidbits, you know, and, you know, just because I just the temperature of the world is evolving. It really is. If you just put your and you be like, oh, people are different. We're in a totally different world. People are waking up. That means that we're waking up, and I'm looking forward to, just everything. Co-host, it's 8:00 already. We've had just a wonderful time. Girl, I tell you.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Yes.
I did too.
Because I wasn't feeling good today. I was tired in my body.
Yeah.
There was just some things going on. So that's why I was late coming down, because I was in the bed. So.
No, look at you. You just did it. You didn't say, Vanessa, I can't make it tonight. You just crowed out. Girl, that's why. Yep, you are champion. You're a champion. Yep. Thank you so much, co-host. So, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, just take your name and put that before, just take out Klinger and put your name there. It's time you believe in yourself 100%. Take credit for your experiences and knowledge. Own what you know and practice what you preach. It's time. It's time for you to come out of hiding and be who God has designed you to be. Co-host, thank you so very much for your dedication.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
We got 3 more weeks and we'll have us a break. I'll be working. You'll be able to we got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 more weeks for April 4th. And I think, I'm almost certain that the 28th, we got Ron coming. And he's going to be sharing with us. Yeah, and then hopefully we'll have him and Kimberly back for our season finale. It's going to be a fun time. We're just going to wrap up and chit chat and just encourage each other and the viewers. It's going to be a fun time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Yep, KP Media. Yep. I'm getting ready to wrap it up. Yep. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sharing. Kimberly Anderson, Unleashed Your Inner Goddess, KimberlyACoaching.com, I believe. I want to say that's right. Yep. KimberlyACoaching.com. Learn more about Unleashing Your Inner Goddess virtual retreat. That's March 27th, 2021. Thank you, my love, for joining us and stopping by, and we'll see you April 4th. Co-host, I'll see you next week. You take care of yourself. You be well. You keep swimming in this victory.
Yeah.
Until next week.
I'm ready.
Namaste. Namaste, my love. I'm ready too. I'm like, yep. It's all good. It's all good. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sharing. Social media world, podcast world. Thank you guys so much for your dedication and your comments and everything. And until next week, co-host, I'm trying to get rid of this thing right here. Yep. Live TV. Yep. Can't get rid of it. Okay. There we go. Let's leave that. Yep. Let's get rid of this. And then let's get rid of that. There we go. Finally. Thank you again, co-host. See you next week. Thanks, everyone.
See you too.
Stay in love, everybody.
Namaste. Yes.
Hello, everyone. It is a new year, new season, new everything. So join me Friday on the Right Along with Vanessa Morning Show for another exciting topic and another word that's going to bring you the raw, real enlightenment and encouragement that you need for 2021. Join me, won't you? Stay in love. Thank you for enjoying the show. If you have an awesome product or service that you would like Vanessa to promote, go to www.vanessaklinger.com/show sponsor and we'll get back to you. We have monthly sponsorship programs, ad slots, all kinds of wonderful great things to promote your product or service. Contact Vanessa today